My name is Tony Salcido. My given name is Antonio Salcido. I'm from Wilmington. I was born and raised in Wilmington. My work number is 30063. I had about 4 or 5 work numbers, but that's the one in 1964 that they revised the number system. And that's the one I wound up with, 30063. How did I start working on the dogs? I was going to community college. I started at East Alley City Community College after I got out of the service in 1949. And Harbor opened up in the September semester of 1949. And then I went to Harbor. I was studying police science with the intentions of becoming a cop. Well, I took the oral exam and I passed okay, but then I had and the obstacle course, the physical, I passed okay, but then I had to, as part of the physical, take a doctor's examination, and I had started wearing glasses, and because of my eyesight, they wouldn't let me become a cop. You know, that flunked me out of becoming a cop. In those days, they had stricter requirements. So once I couldn't be a cop, I was still going to JC. I liked playing basketball, and I was playing basketball, and that's the only reason I stayed in there after that. And then during 1949, I used to work. My brother Mike was a dispatcher, and when they needed extra men, he would call me up and see if I wanted to go to work. And so that's how I started as what they call a casual, you know, and I wasn't affiliated with the organization in any way other than, you know, working occasionally. And in 1949, in August, they had, then at the time, which later became illegal, the sponsorship system. And my brother Mike my dad sponsored me. He was a 33 member. He sponsored me to get what we called an ID. It was an identification card. And so in August 1949, I got an ID, and then I started working more when they had extra work. And that's how I started, because I flunked the police physical, and the opportunity was there to work as an ID. All the shit jobs, you know, because, you know, whatever was left over, usually the regulars didn't want, because they were the harder jobs. And so that's kind of the jobs we wound up with. One of the jobs they had that was particularly hard was scrap iron returning from the Asia after World War II. They still were shipping it in 1949 and 1950. And so that was one of the harder jobs, but they were all hard jobs, hide jobs, fish meal jobs, all kinds of sack jobs, rubber, cotton, you know, load on cotton. I mean, there were very few good jobs, but like I say, you know, I call them shit jobs, but they were just bad jobs, and that's the best description I can give to them. Well, when I was in a gang with old timers, they all knew my dad. My dad's name was Choo Choo. His nickname was Choo Choo, and as a result, a lot of them helped us, you know, because they liked my dad, and most of them would give us pointers as to how to load cargo. For instance, how to make a bulkhead out of sacks, how to make a bulkhead out of boxes, you know, how to start away from us and work towards us, which made the job easier. You don't understand that when you first start longshoring. For instance, on drum jobs, we had 700-pound drums, a lot, and you put three to a board, and you put one drum in the back and 2 in the front. And instead of going 2 in the back and 1 in the front, because that's more work. And I mean, just little things like that, you know, they were kind of techniques that they taught you to make the job easier. So they helped me a lot in that respect. A few, just kind of ignored you, and because it benefited them, that they let you work your ass off, so they could sit around while you still were making a load. But there weren't too many of that kind. Most of the guys were very eager to help you, and it was a good good environment, to learn in. And they always would tell you the hook's hanging because they had a good work ethic, and they didn't want the hook to hang, especially the gang leader. They wanted to be a productive gang. Well, the message is, especially because things have changed so much, to maintain the solidarity, that is, the union stands for that. Union means a group of people. And if you maintain solidarity, help each other, don't go off just pulling for yourself, as a lot of the skilled jobs especially are wont to do. They want to, if contract time, they want to cushion their own little work environment without regard to the guy at the bottom, which is normally the IDs or the guys that still have to work out of the hall. So help each other, but stay together. That's the main thing.